15-year-old Anya had always loved the woods behind her house. The towering trees, the soft carpet of leaves, and the sweet scent of pine needles created a peaceful and enchanting atmosphere. But today, the woods felt different. A heavy fog had rolled in, obscuring the familiar trails and casting an eerie glow over everything. Anya had wandered a little too far from the house and now found herself lost. Panic began to set in as she realized how dark and quiet the forest had become. The once comforting sounds of nature had been replaced by an unsettling silence. She tried to remember everything she'd learned about survival from her dad's camping trips, but her mind was racing too fast. She pulled her jacket tighter around her and continued to walk, hoping to stumble upon a familiar path. As darkness enveloped the forest, Anya heard a distant howl. Her heart pounded in her chest as she imagined wild animals lurking in the shadows. She had heard stories about bears and mountain lions living in these woods, and now she was starting to believe them. She quickened her pace, but the deeper she went, the more disoriented she became. Suddenly, a twig snapped behind her. Anya froze, her breath caught in her throat. She turned slowly, her eyes scanning the darkness. There was nothing there, but the feeling of being watched persisted. She decided to climb a tree to get a better view of her surroundings. As she reached the highest branch, she could see the lights of her house twinkling in the distance. It seemed so close, yet so far away. Just as she was about to climb down, a large branch snapped beneath her feet. Anya lost her balance and fell, landing hard on the forest floor. She lay there for a moment, too scared to move. Then she heard a low growl. She opened her eyes and saw a pair of glowing eyes staring down at her. Fear gripped her as she realized she was face to face with a mountain lion. Anya knew she had to do something. She reached into her backpack and pulled out the small camping knife her dad had given her. She held it up, trying to look as brave as possible. The mountain lion hesitated for a moment, then slowly backed away. Anya wasted no time. She got to her feet and ran as fast as she could. She didn't stop until she reached a small clearing. She collapsed to the ground, exhausted and relieved. As she looked up at the night sky, she couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder. She had been scared, but she had also felt a sense of adventure, and she knew that she would never forget this experience.